It's the weekend, girlies, and that means that unlike the White House, you get to catch a damn break. Give me your wig. Give me your wig. Give me your wig. You don't know what. So I'm gonna start this video off with some information that you should already know. Listen to me, all right? The Expression podcast is coming. Like October 8th, you need to make sure that you're signed up to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Everybody who signs up for the $5 tier or higher gets access to not only the episodes, but you also get to give me your input on the topics that you want me to cover. Now, I want it to be a little bit more personal. I want it to be a little bit more slowed down because I know that my videos are just like fast. Even my live streams are just like that, but I want it to be laid back. So something you can sip a cute mimosa or something, maybe some sweet tea with some snacks. If that's your gig, sit back and listen to me. So make sure that you're going on over there. I've seen a lot of you already signing up to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Now, if you are signed up on there already, you know that I recently put up an article entitled, it's really polarizing, entitled Stockholm Syndrome's Forgiveness Won't Save Our Black Asses. And this was in reference to this whole Amber Guyger situation. I'm not sure if you saw it, but sis got 10 years. She was found guilty. She got 10 years. But what happened after was very interesting, and it was cause for a lot of debate on social media. The judge came down and started hugging on her. This is what she allegedly said to her. You can have my Bible. I have 3 or 4 more at home. This is the one I use every day. This is your job for the next month right here. And then she read John 3:16. Botham's brother ended up coming and hugging her, talking about, I forgive you, I love you. And even the father was at some church, I don't know if it was his church, and was just saying to Amber Guyger, I guess speaking to her, I would like to be your friend. And I put in the disclaimer, like, I know that everyone deals with grief and trauma differently, but it seems to be such a trend, especially with like our community, the black community, that we have to be so self-sacrificing when it comes to giving out grace and mercy. I was just like, if some black person barged into a white person's home and shot their ass dead, would the system be reading them John 3:16 and hugging them? And the answer is simply no. And a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my God, they're forgiving, they're being merciful. Why are you mad at them wanting peace and trying to clear their mind of what happened? It's just like, I understand what you're saying. Honestly, I don't, because I'm not religious at all. I know that that was the foundation out of which this came out, Black Christianity. I know all of that. That's what his family was. But that's why I said in a Patreon article, it seems like all the time we're reaching out our hand to this rattlesnake and it keeps biting our asses. And we just say, turn the other cheek. Oh, yeah, it's fine. We forgive you. And it's just like, why are we jumping to forgiveness without talking about the fact that, okay, there was a black woman who fired warning shots. No one got killed and she got 20 years in prison. Meanwhile, Amber Guyger ass got 10. You see what I'm saying? Why aren't we talking about the corruption in the justice system before we jumping in to forgiveness or mercy or whatever? And I think, like I said also in the Patreon article, that there's a historical context to that. We weren't allowed to voice our opinions, voice our grievances when it came to our oppression, or else our lives would end or we'd be tortured or whatever. But at this point, it's just like, okay, like, I think that there has to be a very defined line between self-sacrifice and self-erasure versus mercy and forgiveness. So I want to know what you guys think about it. I did not expect to speak this long about this topic, but please let me know what you think about it in the comments. So let's talk really quickly about some news that's going on in the music industry. Beyonce and Jay-Z, there's a rumor, and we all know what usually happens when you believe rumors about Beyonce or whatever, you end up looking stupid. But honestly, if this rumor is true, let me tell you something, Beyonce. We understand that you're with your man. We understand that, but it's like, whoo, girl, we want solo Beyonce. We want solo Beyonce. We want solo artist Beyonce. We love, everything is love. Woo, come together, on the run type of tease. Woo, okay, we love it. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the pussy popping. I'm ready for the key changes. Solo. There's a rumor going on that there was this highly choreographed video that was filmed with Beyonce and Jay-Z featuring a steamy scene. Now, that does sound like a rumor, it really does. But I'm just saying, sis, if you thinking about, we know that you with Sean Carter. We know. So even if these rumors are false, it's okay, boo. It's okay to go on the stage by yourself. It's okay. There are a lot of albums that were released. I think Summer Walker's album came out. The Euphoria album, the Euphoria soundtrack with Labyrinth, who I think is a musical god, a musical genius. That also came out. Now, Cash Doll's album was supposed to drop on October 4th, but she moved it back to October 18th. Let me tell you something, sis, I'm ready and I'm waiting. I'm ready and I'm waiting. Sis dropped Mobbin recently. I think it was last night that she dropped it, and I am bopping to that shit. That shit sounds good. Why the fuck you ain't pull up? I know, I just, keep talking your shit, Cash Doll. What else? Lil Nas X was recent, I think like 3 or 4 days ago. He was on CBS speaking to Gayle King, and the clip that I saw was him speaking about his homosexuality and how he tried to pray it away, and he was basically depressed and stuff. So I love to see it, because I feel like there are not a lot of black gay, especially young black gay icons or anything, figures for young black LGBT people to look up to. So the fact that Lil Nas is now using his voice in this way, I continue to stand it. Please keep doing it, because I know that when I was younger, I wish that I had more people outside of YouTube to look up to or to be encouraged by. So this was really unfortunate. I woke up today and saw news that Diahann Carroll has passed away at the age of 84. Her daughter announced it. She was struggling. She was fighting with cancer. So that was not something that I wanted to see. But she had such an expansive career. She was a pioneer in the world of media and TV. For example, she is the first black woman to star in a non-servant role in a TV series. In 1962, she made history as the first black woman to win a Tony Award for lead actress in a musical. She is the first black woman in history to star in her own TV series. So it's just, she's done so much. I think that a lot of people like my age would probably know her best because of these social media clips that have been going viral of her as Dominique Devereaux, dragging the shit out of, I forget what's her name, but dragging the shit out of her, and they were speaking to each other on those sickening ass couches, and she said, "Sis, this champagne is burned, honey. I don't eat that trash ass caviar that you have on that table sauce, but thank you so much for at least trying to reach out. I'm not gonna eat it." She said the champagne is fucking burnt, and she said that caviar is ugly, it's nasty as hell. Thank you so much for your assistance. I know this wasn't a social meeting. I don't know, whatever the fuck it was, I'm happy that we had it. I'll see you later. I don't know, anytime like stars and pioneers like this die, it reminds me to just keep going and to keep putting energy into the community, and also other creatives or current or future leaders, who business owners, whatever, brand owners who are trying to do something, artists who are trying to make a difference in this world. It reminds me to keep going, don't give up. So outside of protecting Meghan Markle, I really don't care about the royal family like that, but I just think that Prince Harry, this shit is so hilarious to me. Like Prince Harry, there's an update on this. Prince Harry is also suing, let me make sure I get this correct. Prince Harry is suing The Sun and Mirror publications over illegal interception of voicemail messages. So he's just like, you hoes think you gonna hack my phone and shit? I'm going to drag the shit out of y'all asses in court. Now, Professor Brian Cathcart, he is a media commentator, and he says the real question is how far Prince Harry is willing to go. So he says the papers that Harry's trying to sue, they have a record of settling phone hacking cases at the door of the court. It costs them a lot of money, but it also prevents a public trial at which executives and reporters past and present would be required to account for themselves, and at which all the facts would come out into the open. So they prefer to settle that shit out of court. He said it also suits many complaints to settle because, angry though they may be, they are reluctant to risk the cost of a trial. That logic may not apply to Prince Harry. It's too early to say, but depending on how much he wants to make the press bosses suffer, he might yet precipitate a sensational civic trial. So he's basically saying in a lot of cases, these papers, Murdoch papers, Mirror papers, they like to settle these complaints out of court so the shit is not public. Even though it's expensive, it would be less expensive than a lengthy trial and less exposing than a public trial. So I think Prince Harry wants to drag the shit out of them. And it's just funny to watch white people fight. It's funny. It's funny to watch white people fight. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. I saw recently there's a debate about to happen and so many motherfuckers on the stage. I'm like, if y'all don't raise these requirements and get some of these candidates off the stage, get them off the stage. So narrow it down. I have to save a whole section for what's going on at the White House. Let's talk about it. So first of all, Trump was on the White House lawn looking like the, rotting jack-o'-lantern that he's always shaped like. He was on the White House lawn like the weed, just the poison ivy that he's built like in that lawn. Literally said that he would ask China and Ukraine to investigate the Bidens. Just on the White House lawn, just said the shit in front of the press. So since he brought up China, I thought this was interesting. There was a senior Trump policy advisor named Peter Navarro, and he was on CNN dodging and deflecting when he was pressed by them on new reports saying that, saying that Trump promised Chinese president that the US would remain quiet on pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong while trade talks continued. And that's according to two sources that they have. So, and I know that you guys know I talked about the Hong Kong protests and what's going on over there, but I thought that was interesting. Then we have all this information coming out. There were a whole bunch of text messages that were released by the House Democrats, and it was made apparent US ambassadors pushed Ukraine to launch investigation into the Bidens, and in exchange they offered basically a White House meeting. So US officials, US ambassadors made clear that the president of Ukraine had to convince Trump, and this is based off of text messages that were being sent back and forth between officials in the US and aides to the president of Ukraine. So US officials made clear that Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, had to convince Trump that Ukraine would open an investigation in order to get a meeting with him, okay? And that's the quid pro quo that they fucking looking for. Oh, he didn't actually say it. His officials and the interactions that are being released made it clear. The president of Ukraine was needing a meeting with Trump so badly because they're facing aggression from Russia. So they need that aid. But not only that, House Democrats are now seeking documents from Mike Pence as part of their impeachment investigation. Get that stone tablet, 10 Commandment, Stonehenge, get that slab of I-95 face ass nigga Mike Pence out of here. I'm telling you right now, House Democrats are seeking documents from Mike Pence as part of their impeachment investigation into Trump and his last call with the Ukrainian president. So the reason why they're doing that is because last month he sent Mike Pence in his place to meet with the Ukrainian president. So now the three committees, the Intelligence Committee, Foreign Affairs Committee, and the Oversight Committee have now focused on him. So and they said, girl, these documents need to be produced by October 15th. I don't know what's... Just get me off this planet. Get me off this planet. Get me out of here. I would just like to meet with the Martians, or, you know, fuck around with ET like I always say. Even the aliens in that movie Arrival, even if we can't understand each other, something gotta be better than this. On that note, make sure that you're going over to patreon.com/AdrianExpression, signing up and giving me your feedback on what you want me to include in the Expression podcast, which will be released on October 8th. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you enjoy your weekend, and unlike Rudy Giuliani, I'm sure that you'd be able to look in the mirror and actually have a good goddamn evening.